Ever feel like you're spinning your wheels, never quite reaching your goals? The audiobook Master Your Week, Plan, Execute, Achieve reveals game-changing strategies to supercharge your productivity. Imagine effortlessly planning your weeks, executing tasks with laser focus, and achieving more in 1 week than most people do in a month. Don't settle for mediocrity. Discover how to unlock your full potential, skyrocket your success, and leave 99% of people in the dust. Your extraordinary life is waiting. Are you ready to seize it? Before we go on, I invite you to download the free bundle, which contains the ebook version of this book and an executive summary of all the chapters with the key takeaways. Studies show that engaging with content through multiple formats significantly enhances learning and retention. Click on the first link in the description to claim your free bundle now and maximize your learning potential. Now it's free, but it won't be for long, so make sure to grab it while you can. Chapter 1: Setting the Stage. Imagine a world where you effortlessly accomplish more in a week than most people do in a month. A reality where your productivity soars, your goals materialize, and your potential is fully realized. This isn't a far-fetched dream. It's the power of mastering your week, and it all begins with setting the stage. The journey to peak productivity starts with a fundamental shift in how you approach your time and tasks. It's about creating an environment, both mental and physical, that propels you towards success. This chapter lays the groundwork for transforming your weeks from chaotic and overwhelming to structured and empowering. As you embark on this journey, you'll discover that the principles outlined in this book are more than just productivity hacks. They're a blueprint for reshaping your entire approach to work and life. By implementing these strategies, you'll not only boost your efficiency, but also cultivate a sense of purpose and fulfillment in everything you do. The first time you apply these concepts, you'll notice immediate changes. You'll gain clarity on your priorities, experience a surge in focus, and see tangible improvements in your daily output. But the real magic happens when you commit to these practices over time. Consistent application leads to compound growth, transforming sporadic productivity into a sustainable, high-performance lifestyle. What's truly exciting is the ripple effect this transformation will have on every aspect of your life. As you master your week, you'll find yourself achieving long-term goals with greater ease, developing habits that support both personal and professional success, and experiencing a profound sense of control over your time and destiny. The journey begins with 3 critical steps: adopting a proactive mindset, creating a conducive environment, and setting clear intentions. These steps are sequenced intentionally, each building upon the last to create a solid foundation for productivity. First, we focus on mindset because your thoughts shape your reality. A proactive mindset is the lens through which you'll view challenges as opportunities and setbacks as learning experiences. It's about taking ownership of your time and choices rather than feeling at the mercy of external circumstances. Next, we turn to your environment. Your physical and digital spaces have a profound impact on your focus and efficiency. By optimizing these areas, you create external cues that support your internal drive for productivity. Finally, setting clear intentions acts as your compass, guiding your actions and decisions throughout the week. When you have a crystal clear vision of what you want to achieve, it becomes easier to prioritize tasks and stay motivated, even when faced with distractions or obstacles. Understanding the importance of a productive week is crucial. It's not just about getting more done, it's about amplifying your impact and moving closer to your long-term vision with each passing day. The compound effect of consistently productive weeks is staggering. Small improvements, when sustained over time, lead to monumental changes in your life trajectory. Cultivating a proactive mindset is the cornerstone of this transformation. It involves a shift from reacting to circumstances to actively shaping your reality. This means taking initiative, anticipating challenges, and being solution-oriented. Instead of waiting for the perfect conditions, you create them. Embracing responsibility for your time means recognizing that you have the power to choose how you spend each moment. Creating a conducive environment is about designing your surroundings to support your productivity goals. In your physical workspace, this might mean decluttering, organizing materials for easy access, or creating a dedicated area for focused work. Digitally, it involves managing notifications, organizing files, and utilizing tools that enhance rather than hinder your workflow. Setting clear intentions is the bridge between your aspirations and your actions. It's about defining not just what you want to achieve, but why it matters to you. Visualizing success isn't mere daydreaming, it's a powerful technique that primes your brain for achievement. When you can vividly imagine the outcome you desire, you're more likely to take the necessary steps to make it a reality. Selecting the right planning tools is crucial in this process. Whether you prefer digital apps or traditional pen and paper methods, the key is to find tools that align with your working style and consistently use them. Technology can be a powerful ally in productivity, offering features like reminders, progress tracking, and seamless integration across devices. As you implement these strategies, you'll likely encounter resistance, both internal and external. Old habits may try to reassert themselves, and unexpected challenges may arise. This is normal and even expected. The key is to remain committed to your new approach, adjusting as needed, but never losing sight of your ultimate goals. Remember, mastering your week is not about perfection, it's about progress. Each step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to your ideal state of productivity and fulfillment. The strategies you're about to learn are not rigid rules, but flexible principles that you can adapt to your unique circumstances and preferences. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on the potential that lies ahead. Imagine the sense of accomplishment you'll feel as you consistently achieve your weekly goals. Picture the positive impact this will have on your career, relationships, and personal growth. This is just the beginning of your journey towards mastering your week and, by extension, mastering your life. In the chapters that follow, we'll delve deeper into specific techniques and strategies that will further enhance your productivity. You'll learn how to align your goals, prioritize tasks effectively, and manage your energy for optimal performance. Each chapter builds upon the last, creating a comprehensive system for weekly mastery. But before we move on, it's important to internalize the foundational concepts we've covered here. A proactive mindset, a supportive environment, and clear intentions are the bedrock upon which all other productivity strategies rest. As you progress through this book, continually return to these principles, reinforcing them until they become second nature. The path ahead is filled with potential, waiting to be unlocked by your newfound approach to weekly planning and execution. As you turn the page to the next chapter, carry with you the excitement of what's possible when you truly set the stage for success. The journey to mastering your week has begun, and the transformation you're about to experience will ripple through every aspect of your life, opening doors to opportunities you may have never thought possible. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Grow to the Top and activate notifications to receive more self-improvement tips that will supercharge your growth. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you for your support. Chapter 2, Align Your Goals. Have you ever felt like you're constantly busy, yet not making meaningful progress towards what truly matters to you? This common frustration often stems from a misalignment between our daily actions and our long-term aspirations. In this chapter, we'll explore a powerful strategy that can transform your approach to weekly planning and propel you towards your most ambitious dreams. Imagine a world where every task you complete, every hour you invest, brings you one step closer to your ultimate goals. This isn't just a fantasy. It's the result of mastering the art of goal alignment. By connecting your long-term objectives with your weekly planning, you create a powerful synergy that can dramatically accelerate your progress and fuel your motivation. But what does it really mean to align your goals? At its core, this process is about creating a clear line of sight from your grandest ambitions down to your daily to-do list. It's about ensuring that the small steps you take each day are consistently moving you in the right direction. This alignment acts as a compass, guiding your decisions and helping you prioritize your time and energy. The importance of this alignment in mastering your week cannot be overstated. When your weekly efforts directly contribute to your long-term success, you'll find a newfound sense of purpose in even the most mundane tasks. Suddenly, answering emails or attending meetings isn't just about getting through the day, it's about advancing your larger mission. Moreover, this alignment serves as a powerful motivator. When you can clearly see how today's work connects to tomorrow's dreams, you're more likely to push through challenges and stay committed to your goals. It transforms your perspective, turning daily tasks from obligations into opportunities for growth and achievement. To harness the power of goal alignment, we must first turn our attention to the big picture. What are your long-term goals? What do you want to achieve in the next year, 5 years, or even decade? These aren't just idle daydreams. They're the foundation upon which we'll build our weekly planning strategy. Defining these long-term goals requires introspection and clarity. It's about identifying both personal and professional aspirations that truly resonate with your values and passions. These goals should excite you, challenge you, and reflect the life you want to create. When articulating these goals, specificity is key. Vague aspirations like be successful or make more money lack the clarity needed to guide your actions effectively. Instead, strive for concrete, vivid goal statements that paint a clear picture of what you want to achieve. Once you've defined your long-term goals, the next step is to break them down into manageable milestones. This process is like creating a roadmap for your journey. Annual and quarterly milestones serve as significant checkpoints, while monthly and weekly targets act as your immediate next steps. This breakdown is crucial because it bridges the gap between your distant dreams and your daily reality. It transforms overwhelming ambitions into actionable steps, making them feel more achievable and less daunting. Each milestone becomes a mini goal in itself, providing regular opportunities for success and motivation along your journey. As we delve deeper into this process, you'll discover a powerful framework that can revolutionize how you set and pursue goals. This framework ensures that your goals are not just wishful thinking, but well-defined targets that guide your actions and decisions. The key lies in making your goals smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This approach transforms vague aspirations into clear, actionable objectives. Let's explore each element. Specific goals leave no room for ambiguity. Instead of improve my skills, a specific goal might be master advanced Excel functions for data analysis. Measurable goals provide clear criteria for success. How will you know when you've achieved your goal? Quantifiable metrics help track progress and maintain motivation. Achievable goals stretch your abilities without being unrealistic. They should challenge you while remaining within the realm of possibility, given your resources and constraints. Relevant goals align with your broader objectives and values. Each goal should contribute meaningfully to your overarching vision. Time-bound goals have a clear deadline. This creates urgency and helps prevent procrastination. By applying these criteria to your goals at every level, from long-term visions to weekly targets, you create a cohesive, actionable plan for success. Now comes the crucial step, aligning your weekly goals with your long-term vision. This is where the rubber meets the road, where grand ambitions translate into daily actions. The key is to ensure consistency across all timeframes, from years to weeks to days. Start by reviewing your long-term goals and milestones. Then, ask yourself, what can I do this week that will move me closer to these objectives? Your weekly goals should be direct stepping stones towards your larger ambitions. However, this alignment process isn't without pitfalls. One common mistake is setting too many goals, leading to overwhelm and lack of focus. Another is failing to adjust goals as circumstances change. Remember, goal setting is an iterative process, requiring regular review and refinement. To maintain momentum and ensure you're on track, it's essential to monitor your progress regularly. This is where key performance indicators, KPIs, come into play. KPIs are measurable values that demonstrate how effectively you're achieving your objectives. For each goal, identify specific metrics that indicate progress. These could be quantitative, like number of tasks completed, or qualitative, like improved skill proficiency. Regularly tracking these KPIs provides valuable insights into your advancement and helps you identify areas needing attention. Don't be afraid to adjust your goals as needed. Flexibility is a strength, not a weakness. As you gain new information or as circumstances change, be prepared to refine your objectives. This adaptability ensures your goals remain relevant and achievable. To truly internalize this goal alignment process, practical application is key. One powerful exercise is crafting your personal vision statement. This concise declaration encapsulates your long-term aspirations and core values, serving as a North Star for all your goals. Another valuable tool is creating a goal breakdown chart. This visual representation maps out how your long-term objectives cascade into progressively smaller, more immediate goals. It provides a clear overview of how your daily actions connect to your ultimate ambitions. As you implement these strategies, you'll begin to see transformative results. At a minimum, you'll gain a clearer understanding of your long-term goals, bringing your aspirations into sharper focus. This alone can be profoundly motivating and clarifying. With consistent application, you'll achieve an effective alignment of your weekly tasks with your broader goals. This alignment will infuse your daily work with purpose and direction, making every action feel meaningful and purposeful. At its best, this approach can dramatically accelerate your progress towards achieving major life ambitions. By ensuring that every week contributes meaningfully to your larger goals, you create a powerful momentum that can propel you towards success at an unprecedented rate. Of course, challenges may arise along the way. Setting unrealistic goals is a common pitfall that can lead to frustration and demotivation. If you find yourself consistently falling short, it may be time to refine your objectives. Remember, goals should stretch you, but not break you. Another risk is losing sight of your long-term vision amidst the day-to-day grind. To combat this, make it a habit to regularly revisit and reaffirm your overarching goals. This consistent reconnection with your bigger picture will help maintain your focus and motivation. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on the power of aligned goals. By creating this seamless connection between your daily actions and your grandest ambitions, you're setting the stage for extraordinary achievement. You're not just planning your weeks, you're architecting your future. The journey ahead is filled with potential, and the strategies you've learned here will serve as your compass. But this is just the beginning. In the next chapter, we'll explore a critical skill that will supercharge your ability to make the most of every day. Get ready to unlock a hidden source of productivity that's been right at your fingertips all along. Chapter 3, Prioritize Tasks. In the grand symphony of productivity, not all notes are created equal. Some resonate more powerfully, driving the melody forward, while others merely add background noise. As we delve into this chapter, we'll explore a fundamental skill that separates the masters of time management from the novices, the art of prioritization. Imagine having a secret lens through which you could view your to-do list, instantly revealing which tasks would propel you towards your goals and which would merely keep you busy. This isn't just a flight of fancy, it's the power of effective prioritization. But what does it truly mean to prioritize, and why is it so crucial for mastering your week? At its core, prioritization is about making conscious choices. It's the skill of discerning between what's truly important and what's merely urgent, or sometimes not even necessary. In a world that constantly demands our attention, learning to prioritize is like finding the eye of the storm, a place of calm focus amidst the chaos of competing demands. The importance of this skill in mastering your week cannot be overstated. Time is our most precious and limited resource. No matter who we are or what we do, we all have the same 168 hours each week. Prioritization is the key to maximizing the use of this limited time. It ensures that your energy and focus are directed towards tasks that will drive the most significant results. Moreover, effective prioritization acts as a compass, guiding you through the sea of tasks and responsibilities. It helps you stay aligned with your goals, preventing you from being swept away by the current of urgent but ultimately unimportant activities. By focusing on high-impact tasks, you're not just being busy, you're being productive in the truest sense of the word. But how do we develop this critical skill? How do we learn to distinguish between the tasks that truly matter and those that only seem important in the moment? The answer lies in understanding the delicate balance between importance and urgency. Importance refers to how significant a task is in relation to your overall goals and values. These are the activities that contribute directly to your long-term objectives, personal growth, or core responsibilities. Urgent tasks, on the other hand, are those that demand immediate attention. They're the ringing phones, the approaching deadlines, the crisis of the moment. The challenge lies in recognizing that not everything urgent is important, and not everything important is urgent. This distinction is crucial because our natural tendency is to focus on urgent tasks, regardless of their importance. We feel a sense of accomplishment in putting out fires, even if those fires aren't contributing to our larger goals. The consequences of poor prioritization can be severe. It leads to a constant state of reactivity, where we're always responding to the latest crisis, rather than proactively working towards our goals. This can result in burnout, missed opportunities, and a gnawing sense that despite being constantly busy, we're not making real progress. To combat this, we need a systematic approach to prioritization. One such powerful tool is the Eisenhower Matrix, named after President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was known for his exceptional ability to organize his workload and make difficult decisions. The Eisenhower Matrix divides tasks into 4 quadrants based on their urgency and importance. Imagine a grid with 4 squares. The top left square represents tasks that are both urgent and important. These are your top priorities. The top right square contains tasks that are important but not urgent. These are the activities that often contribute most to your long-term goals. The bottom left square is for urgent but unimportant tasks. Often these can be delegated. Finally, the bottom right square is for tasks that are neither urgent nor important. These are the activities you should consider eliminating. By categorizing your tasks into these quadrants, you gain clarity on where to focus your energy. The goal is to spend most of your time in the important but not urgent quadrant, proactively working on tasks that align with your goals before they become urgent crises. Implementing this matrix in your daily planning can be transformative. Start each day or week by listing out your tasks and placing them in the appropriate quadrant. This visual representation helps you see at a glance where your priorities should lie. Another powerful concept in prioritization is the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. This principle suggests that roughly 80% of effects come from 20% of causes. In the context of task management, this means that about 20% of your tasks will likely produce 80% of your results. The key is to identify these vital few tasks, the 20% that will drive the majority of your progress. These are the activities you should prioritize above all else. By focusing your energy on these high-impact tasks, you can maximize your results while minimizing wasted effort. Implementing the Pareto principle requires a shift in mindset. Instead of trying to tackle everything on your to-do list, ask yourself, which of these tasks will have the biggest impact on my goals? Focus on those tasks first, even if it means leaving some less important tasks undone. Of course, prioritization isn't without its challenges. One common pitfall is overcommitting and task overload. It's easy to fall into the trap of saying yes to everything, believing we can somehow squeeze it all in. This leads to a packed schedule with no room for the unexpected, setting us up for stress and potential failure. Another frequent mistake is allowing urgent tasks to consistently overshadow important ones. We've all experienced days where we're so busy putting out fires that we never get to our most crucial work. While some urgent tasks are unavoidable, consistently prioritizing urgency over importance will derail your long-term progress. To avoid these pitfalls, it's essential to create a prioritized task list. This isn't just a matter of writing down everything you need to do. It's about thoughtfully considering each task's importance and urgency, then arranging them in order of priority. For daily and weekly prioritization, consider starting each morning by identifying your top 3 priorities for the day. These should be tasks that, if completed, would make the day a success regardless of what else happens. Similarly, at the start of each week, identify the key objectives that will move you closer to your goals. Digital tools can be invaluable in this process. Many task management apps allow you to assign priority levels to tasks, set due dates, and even categorize tasks according to the Eisenhower matrix. Experiment with different tools to find one that suits your workflow and helps you maintain a clear view of your priorities. To truly internalize these prioritization techniques, practice is key. Try applying the Eisenhower matrix to your current task list. Sort your tasks into the 4 quadrants and observe how it changes your perspective on what you should be focusing on. Similarly, challenge yourself to identify the top 20% of your tasks that are likely to produce 80% of your results. This exercise can be eye-opening, often revealing that we spend too much time on low-impact activities. As you implement these strategies, you'll begin to see tangible improvements in your productivity. At a minimum, you'll experience better organization of your tasks, bringing clarity to your daily and weekly planning. This alone can significantly reduce stress and increase your sense of control over your workload. With consistent application, you'll notice increased productivity as you focus more on high-impact tasks. You'll find yourself making meaningful progress on your most important goals rather than just staying busy with less critical activities. At its best, effective prioritization can dramatically accelerate your progress towards your goals. By consistently focusing on what matters most, you'll achieve results faster than you ever thought possible. You'll be working smarter, not just harder. Of course, challenges may arise as you refine your prioritization skills. Misclassifying tasks is a common issue. What seems important in the moment may not always align with your long-term goals. To combat this, regularly seek feedback from mentors or colleagues and periodically reassess your priorities in light of your overarching objectives. Another potential pitfall is overloading your schedule, even with high-priority tasks. Remember, effective prioritization isn't about doing everything, it's about doing the right things. Learn to delegate tasks when possible and be willing to eliminate non-essential activities, even if they seem important at first glance. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on the power of prioritization. By mastering this skill, you're not just managing your time more effectively, you're taking control of your life's direction. You're ensuring that your daily actions align with your most important goals and values. But prioritization is just one piece of the productivity puzzle. In the next chapter, we'll explore a technique that will revolutionize how you approach your newly prioritized tasks. Get ready to discover a method that will transform your schedule from a source of stress into a powerful tool for achievement. The key to unlocking your productivity potential is closer than you think, and it's about to change everything. Chapter 4, Time Blocking. Imagine having the power to bend time to your will, to shape your days with precision and purpose. While we can't literally control time, there's a technique that comes remarkably close. It's a method that transforms your schedule from a chaotic jumble of tasks into a finely tuned instrument of productivity. Welcome to the world of time blocking. But what exactly is time blocking, and why does it hold such transformative potential? At its core, time blocking is about taking control of your schedule in a deliberate, intentional way. It's a technique that goes beyond simply listing tasks. It involves allocating specific time slots in your schedule for particular activities or tasks. The power of this approach lies in its ability to combat one of the most insidious enemies of productivity, Parkinson's law. This principle states that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. We've all experienced this phenomenon. Given an entire day to complete a task, it somehow takes the entire day, even if it could have been done in a few hours. Time blocking turns this law on its head. By imposing strict time frames for tasks, it creates a sense of urgency and focus that can dramatically boost your productivity. It's like creating a series of mini deadlines throughout your day, each one pushing you to complete your work efficiently. But the benefits of time blocking extend far beyond just getting things done faster. This technique has the power to enhance your focus and reduce procrastination. When you know you have a specific block of time dedicated to a task, it becomes much easier to dive in and concentrate. The temptation to procrastinate diminishes because you've already made the decision about what to work on and when. Moreover, time blocking improves overall time management and efficiency. It forces you to be realistic about how long tasks actually take, helping you avoid overcommitting or underestimating the time needed for important work. This leads to a more balanced, achievable schedule and reduces the stress of constantly falling behind. To truly understand time blocking, it's helpful to contrast it with traditional to-do lists. While to-do lists can be useful for capturing tasks, they often fall short when it comes to execution. They don't account for how long tasks will take or when you'll actually do them. Time blocking takes those same tasks and assigns them a specific place in your schedule, turning abstract plans into concrete actions. The process of implementing time blocking begins with designing your ideal week. This involves taking a step back and looking at the big picture of your life and goals. Start by mapping out your non-negotiable weekly commitments, things like work hours, family obligations, or regular meetings. These form the framework around which you'll build the rest of your schedule. Next, consider how you want to allocate your time between work, rest, and personal activities. This is where time blocking really shines, as it encourages you to create a balanced schedule that accounts for all aspects of your life. Don't just focus on work tasks. Make sure to block out time for self-care, hobbies, and relationships as well. When it comes to implementing time blocks, start with your high-priority tasks. These are the activities that align most closely with your goals and values. By scheduling these first, you ensure that your most important work gets done, rather than being pushed aside by less critical tasks. However, it's crucial to build flexibility into your time-blocked schedule. Life is unpredictable, and unexpected events will inevitably arise. Leave some unscheduled time in your day to act as a buffer for these situations. This might mean scheduling slightly less time for tasks than you think you need, or leaving a block of flex time each day for unforeseen circumstances. Of course, implementing time blocking isn't without its challenges. One of the biggest hurdles is dealing with interruptions. In our hyper-connected world, distractions are constant, from email notifications to impromptu meetings. To make time blocking work, you need strategies for managing these interruptions. This might involve setting boundaries with colleagues, turning off notifications during focused work blocks, or designating specific times for checking emails and messages. Remember, the goal of time blocking is to create periods of uninterrupted focus, so protecting these blocks is crucial. Another challenge is maintaining discipline and adherence to your schedule. It can be tempting to ignore your planned blocks when you're not in the mood for a particular task or when something more appealing comes up. Overcoming this requires a commitment to the process and a recognition of the long-term benefits of sticking to your plan. Fortunately, there are numerous tools available to support effective time blocking. Digital calendars and scheduling apps are particularly useful, allowing you to easily create, modify, and view your time blocks. Many of these tools also sync across devices, ensuring you always have access to your schedule. Time tracking apps can also be valuable for accountability. By monitoring how you actually spend your time compared to your planned blocks, you can identify areas for improvement and refine your scheduling over time. To truly master time blocking, practice is key. Start by creating a time-blocked schedule for your upcoming week. Begin with your fixed commitments, then add blocks for your high-priority tasks. Don't forget to include time for breaks, personal activities, and buffer periods. As you implement your schedule, track your adherence to the time blocks. Note when you stick to the plan and when you deviate. This isn't about beating yourself up over imperfections. It's about gathering data to help you refine your approach. Over time, you'll likely see significant improvements in your productivity and time management. At a minimum, you'll gain a much clearer awareness of how you're allocating your time. This alone can be eye-opening, revealing patterns and habits you might not have noticed before. With consistent practice, you'll experience increased productivity through more focused work sessions. The ability to concentrate deeply on tasks without distraction can lead to higher quality work and faster completion times. At its best, mastering time blocking can give you an unprecedented level of control over your schedule and, by extension, your life. You'll find yourself accomplishing more in less time, reducing stress, and making steady progress towards your most important goals. However, it's important to be aware of potential pitfalls. One common mistake is overscheduling, trying to account for every minute of the day. This can lead to burnout and frustration when inevitable disruptions occur. The solution is to build in buffer times and be realistic about what you can accomplish in a day. Another issue that can arise is simply ignoring your time blocks. If you find yourself consistently disregarding your schedule, it may be a sign that you need to adjust your approach. Perhaps your blocks are too long, or you're not allowing enough variety in your tasks. Be willing to experiment and refine your system until you find what works best for you. Remember, the goal of time blocking isn't perfection, it's progress. Even if you only stick to your schedule 80% of the time, you're likely to see significant improvements in your productivity and focus. As you implement time blocking in your life, you'll discover that it's more than just a scheduling technique. It's a powerful tool for aligning your daily actions with your long-term goals. By giving each task its own dedicated space in your schedule, you ensure that your most important work gets the time and attention it deserves. But as powerful as time blocking is, it's just one piece of the productivity puzzle. In the next chapter, we'll explore a complementary technique that will take your efficiency to new heights. Get ready to discover a method that will revolutionize how you approach your work, making even the most daunting tasks feel manageable. The key to unlocking your full potential is just around the corner, and it's simpler than you might think. Chapter 5, Task Batching. Imagine a world where your mind flows seamlessly from one task to the next, where your productivity soars and mental fatigue becomes a thing of the past. This isn't a far-off dream, but a reality that's within your grasp. Welcome to the transformative power of task batching. But what exactly is task batching, and why does it hold such potential to revolutionize your work week? At its core, task batching is a deceptively simple concept, yet its impact on your productivity can be profound. It's a technique that challenges the way we typically approach our to-do lists, offering a smarter, more efficient alternative. Think about how you usually tackle your tasks. You might start writing an email, then switch to scheduling a meeting, followed by a quick jump into a creative project, only to circle back to finish that email. This constant jumping between different types of tasks feels productive. After all, you're getting things done, right? But what if this approach is actually holding you back? The truth is, our brains aren't designed for this kind of rapid task switching. Each time you shift from one type of task to another, your mind needs time to adjust. This adjustment period, known as the cognitive switching penalty, can eat up valuable time and mental energy. It's like trying to drive a car while constantly shifting gears. You might be moving, but you're not operating at peak efficiency. This is where task batching comes in. By grouping similar tasks together, you minimize these mental gear shifts. Instead of constantly recalibrating your brain, you allow it to settle into a groove, tackling similar tasks one after another. The result? Increased efficiency and reduced mental fatigue. But the benefits of task batching extend far beyond just saving time. When you batch similar tasks, you enhance your focus on specific types of work. This deepened focus can lead to higher quality output and a greater sense of accomplishment. It's the difference between dipping your toes in multiple pools and diving deep into one. To truly understand the power of task batching, it's crucial to grasp the concept of the cognitive switching penalty. Every time you switch tasks, your brain needs to reload the context of the new task. This reloading process takes time and mental energy, even if you're not consciously aware of it. Over the course of a day, these small penalties add up, leaving you feeling drained and less productive. By grouping similar tasks, you dramatically reduce these context switches. Your brain can stay in a single mode for longer periods, whether that's creative thinking, analytical work, or administrative tasks. This sustained focus not only speeds up your work, but also often results in better quality output. So, how do you identify which tasks are suitable for batching? Start by looking at your routine activities. These are often prime candidates for batching. Think about tasks like responding to emails, making phone calls, or processing paperwork. These activities typically require similar mental processes and can be efficiently grouped together. On the other hand, don't overlook the potential for batching more complex or creative tasks. While these might seem less obvious candidates, grouping similar creative or deep work activities can lead to powerful results. For instance, you might batch all your writing tasks together or dedicate a block of time to strategic planning activities. Once you've identified your batchable tasks, the next step is to create your task batches. This process involves organizing your tasks by type and the mental effort required. For example, you might create a batch for all your email-related tasks, another for phone calls, and yet another for creative work. When creating these batches, consider not just the type of task, but also the energy level required. High-energy complex tasks might form one batch, while lower-energy routine tasks form another. This approach allows you to align your batches with your natural energy fluctuations throughout the day. After creating your batches, the next step is to schedule them into your calendar. This is where task batching dovetails beautifully with the time blocking technique we discussed in the previous chapter. By allocating specific time blocks to your task batches, you create a powerful structure for your day that maximizes efficiency and focus. To enhance your focus within these batches, it's crucial to set clear objectives for each one. Before diving into a batch, take a moment to clarify what you want to achieve. This might be a specific number of tasks completed or a particular outcome you're working towards. Having this clear objective helps maintain your focus and provides a sense of direction. Equally important is minimizing distractions during your batch work. This might mean turning off notifications, finding a quiet workspace, or using tools that block distracting websites. The goal is to create an environment that supports deep, focused work on your batch tasks. As you implement task batching, it's important to regularly evaluate and refine your strategy. Pay attention to how you feel after completing different batches. Are you more energized? Less fatigued? Are you completing tasks faster? Use these observations to assess your efficiency gains and make adjustments as needed. Don't be afraid to experiment with different batch compositions and durations. You might find that certain types of tasks work better in shorter batches, while others benefit from longer, uninterrupted periods. The key is to remain flexible and adjust your approach based on what works best for you. To truly internalize the power of task batching, try this practical exercise. Start by listing out all your tasks for the upcoming week. Then, group these tasks into batches based on similarity and required mental effort. Finally, schedule these batches into your calendar, creating dedicated time blocks for each group of tasks. As you implement your batched schedule, monitor your performance. Pay attention to how quickly you complete tasks, the quality of your work, and your overall energy levels. This data will be invaluable as you refine your batching strategy over time. The potential outcomes of mastering task batching are truly exciting. At a minimum, you're likely to experience reduced mental fatigue. The constant mental gear shifting of traditional task management can be exhausting, and eliminating this alone can significantly improve your work experience. As you become more adept at task batching, you'll likely notice more substantial efficiency improvements. Tasks that once took hours might now be completed in a fraction of the time. You may find yourself accomplishing more in a day than you previously did in a week. At its best, task batching can lead to significantly increased productivity with less effort. By aligning your work style with your brain's natural tendencies, you create a state of flow where work feels effortless and time flies by. This is the holy grail of productivity, achieving more while feeling less stressed and more fulfilled. Of course, like any productivity technique, task batching isn't without its potential pitfalls. One common issue is overbatching, which can lead to monotony. If you find yourself losing focus or feeling bored, it might be a sign that your batches are too long or too homogeneous. The solution is to mix in some variety when necessary. This doesn't mean abandoning the batching concept, but rather creating more diverse batches or interspersing different types of batches throughout your day. Another potential problem is misclassification of tasks. You might initially group tasks together that don't actually require similar mental processes. If you find that certain batches aren't flowing as smoothly as others, take a step back and reassess. Don't be afraid to adjust your batches based on your experiences. Remember, the goal of task batching isn't to create a rigid and flexible schedule. Rather, it's about finding a rhythm that allows you to work with your brain's natural tendencies, maximizing your productivity and minimizing mental fatigue. As you master the art of task batching, you'll discover a new level of control over your workday. Tasks that once seemed overwhelming become manageable. Projects that used to drag on for weeks are completed in days. You'll find yourself with more time and energy for the things that truly matter, both in your professional and personal life. But as powerful as task batching is, it's just one piece of the productivity puzzle. In the next chapter, we'll explore a concept that will take your efficiency to new heights. It's a principle that challenges conventional wisdom about productivity and time management. Get ready to discover a counterintuitive truth that could completely transform how you approach your work and your life. The key to unlocking your full potential might be the exact opposite of what you've always believed. Chapter 6: Energy Management. Have you ever wondered why some days you feel like you can conquer the world, while on others, even the simplest tasks seem insurmountable? The secret lies not in the tasks themselves, but in a hidden force that ebbs and flows within you throughout the day. This force, when harnessed correctly, has the power to revolutionize your productivity and transform your entire approach to work and life. Welcome to the world of energy management, a concept that challenges the traditional notion of time management and offers a more nuanced, effective approach to organizing your day. But what exactly is energy management, and why does it hold such transformative potential? At its core, energy management is about working in harmony with your body's natural rhythms. It's a recognition that not all hours of the day are created equal when it comes to your productivity and focus. Instead of fighting against your natural energy fluctuations, energy management teaches you to leverage them, aligning your most demanding tasks with your periods of peak energy and focus. This approach is grounded in the science of chronobiology, the study of biological rhythms. Our bodies operate on various cycles, including the well-known circadian rhythm that regulates our sleep-wake cycle, and the lesser-known ultradian rhythms that occur multiple times throughout the day. These rhythms influence our energy levels, cognitive function, and even our mood. By understanding and working with these rhythms, rather than against them, you can maximize your effectiveness and prevent burnout. It's like surfing. Instead of exhausting yourself by swimming against the current, you learn to ride the waves of your natural energy patterns. The importance of this approach in mastering your week cannot be overstated. When you align your tasks with your energy levels, you're not just managing your time, you're optimizing your performance. High energy periods become opportunities for tackling your most challenging and important work, while low energy periods are perfect for routine tasks or strategic breaks. Moreover, this approach helps prevent burnout by respecting your body's need for both intense focus and regular recovery. It's a sustainable way to maintain high productivity over the long term without sacrificing your well-being. To truly harness the power of energy management, it's crucial to understand the science behind your energy rhythms. Your circadian rhythm, often called your body clock, is a roughly 24-hour cycle that regulates various physiological processes. This is why you naturally feel more alert at certain times of the day and sleepy at others. Nested within this larger cycle are ultradian rhythms, shorter cycles that occur multiple times throughout the day. These rhythms typically involve 90 to 120-minute periods of high-energy focus, followed by 20 to 30-minute periods of lower energy. Recognizing these patterns in your own body is key to optimizing your schedule. But how do you identify your personal energy patterns? This is where the concept of an energy audit comes in. For at least a week, track your energy levels throughout the day. Notice when you feel most alert and focused and when you tend to feel sluggish or distracted. Pay attention to how these patterns might shift from day to day. As you conduct this audit, you'll likely start to notice patterns emerging. Perhaps you have a surge of energy in the morning, a dip after lunch, and another peak in the late afternoon. Or maybe you're a night owl, with your energy and focus peaking in the evening hours. There's no one-size-fits-all pattern. What matters is identifying your unique rhythms. Once you've mapped out your energy patterns, the next step is to align your schedule accordingly. This is where energy management truly shines. Start by identifying your high-energy tasks, those that require intense focus, creativity, or complex problem-solving. These are the tasks you'll want to schedule during your peak energy periods. Conversely, identify tasks that don't require as much mental horsepower. These might include routine administrative work, answering emails, or organizing your workspace. These tasks are perfect for your lower energy periods when you might struggle to focus on more demanding work. As you implement this approach, you'll likely find that you're able to accomplish more in less time. Tasks that might have taken hours when attempted during a low-energy period suddenly become manageable when tackled during your peak. It's not about working longer, it's about working smarter. Of course, even with optimal scheduling, there will be times when you need a boost. This is where strategies for maintaining and enhancing your energy come into play. One of the most effective techniques is the strategic use of breaks. Remember those ultradian rhythms we discussed? They suggest that our brains naturally need short periods of rest every 90 to 120 minutes. Instead of pushing through these natural dips, learn to embrace them. Use these periods for short breaks, a brief walk, some light stretching, or even a few minutes of meditation. These breaks aren't a waste of time. They're an investment in your productivity, allowing you to return to your tasks with renewed focus and energy. Another key aspect of energy management is recognizing and preventing burnout. Burnout isn't just about working too much. It's often the result of working against your natural rhythms for extended periods. Learn to recognize the signs of overexertion in yourself. These might include persistent fatigue, difficulty concentrating, or a general sense of apathy towards your work. When you notice these signs, it's crucial to implement restorative practices. This might involve taking a longer break, engaging in a hobby you enjoy, or simply allowing yourself some unstructured downtime. Remember, rest and recovery are not antithetical to productivity. They're essential components of it. To truly internalize these principles, try keeping an energy diary for a week. Note not just your energy levels, but also how they correlate with your productivity and the quality of your work. Use this data to design a schedule that aligns with your natural rhythms. As you implement energy management techniques, you're likely to see a range of positive outcomes. At a minimum, you'll gain a better awareness of your energy fluctuations. This awareness alone can be transformative, allowing you to make more informed decisions about how to structure your day. With consistent application, you'll likely experience enhanced performance during your peak times. Tasks that once seemed daunting become manageable, and you may find yourself achieving breakthroughs on projects that had previously stalled. At its best, mastering energy management can lead to sustained high productivity coupled with improved overall well-being. You'll be able to accomplish more without feeling drained or overwhelmed. It's the holy grail of productivity, doing your best work while feeling your best. Of course, like any new approach, energy management comes with its challenges. One common pitfall is ignoring your body's signals in favor of sticking to a rigid schedule. While structure is important, it's equally crucial to remain flexible and responsive to your body's needs. If you're feeling particularly energized during a time you've designated for low-energy tasks, be willing to adjust. Conversely, if you're experiencing unexpected fatigue, don't force yourself to tackle high-energy tasks. Listen to your body and prioritize self-care. Another potential issue is creating a schedule that's too rigid. Life is unpredictable, and there will always be unexpected demands on your time and energy. Build some flexibility into your schedule to accommodate these surprises without throwing your entire system off track. Remember, the goal of energy management isn't to create a perfect, unchanging schedule. It's about developing a deeper understanding of your own rhythms and learning to work with them rather than against them. It's a dynamic process that requires ongoing attention and adjustment. As you master the art of energy management, you'll discover a new level of control over your productivity and well-being. Tasks that once left you drained become energizing. Projects that seemed insurmountable become exciting challenges. You'll find yourself with more energy, not just for work, but for all aspects of your life. But as powerful as energy management is, it's just one piece of the productivity puzzle. In the next chapter, we'll explore a concept that might seem at odds with everything we've discussed so far. It's an approach that, when used correctly, can supercharge your focus and productivity in ways you never thought possible. Get ready to discover the counterintuitive power of creating space in your schedule. The key to unlocking your full potential might lie in doing less, not more. Chapter 7. Eliminate distractions. In our hyper-connected world, there's an invisible force that's constantly pulling at our attention, fragmenting our focus, and sabotaging our productivity. It's a force so pervasive that we often don't even notice its presence, yet its impact on our work and lives is profound. This chapter is about reclaiming your attention and harnessing the power of undistracted focus. But what exactly do we mean by eliminating distractions? It's not just about silencing your phone or closing your email tab. It's about creating an environment, both external and internal, that allows you to dive deep into your work, accessing levels of concentration and creativity that you might not have experienced in years. The importance of this skill in mastering your week cannot be overstated. When you can work without interruption, you don't just get more done. You produce higher quality work. Ideas flow more freely, problems are solved more creatively, and complex tasks become manageable. It's the difference between paddling in the shallows and diving into the depths of your potential. Moreover, eliminating distractions isn't just about productivity, it's about reclaiming your mental space. In a world that's constantly vying for your attention, the ability to focus deeply is becoming increasingly rare and increasingly valuable. It's a superpower that can set you apart in both your professional and personal life. To truly understand the impact of distractions, we need to delve into the concept of attention residue. Every time you switch tasks or respond to a distraction, a part of your attention remains stuck on the previous activity. This residue accumulates throughout the day, gradually eroding your cognitive capacity. It's like trying to run a race with weights gradually being added to your ankles. You might still be moving, but you're far from your peak performance. By proactively eliminating potential distractions, you're not just saving time, you're preserving your cognitive resources. You're ensuring that when you sit down to work, you have your full mental capacity at your disposal. This is the key to not just working longer, but working smarter. So how do we begin this process of elimination? The first step is identifying the common distractions in your life. These can be broadly categorized into external and internal distractions. External distractions are those that come from your environment, notifications on your phone, colleagues dropping by your desk, or the general noise and activity around you. Internal distractions, on the other hand, come from within, wandering thoughts, worries, or the temptation to multitask. Speaking of multitasking, it's worth addressing this common productivity myth head-on. Despite what you may have heard, true multitasking, doing multiple cognitively demanding tasks simultaneously, is a myth. What we call multitasking is actually rapid task switching, and it's incredibly costly in terms of mental energy and efficiency. Each switch incurs a cognitive cost, leading to increased errors and decreased overall productivity. Once you've identified your common distractions, it's time to develop strategies to minimize them. For external distractions, this often starts with managing your digital environment. The ping of a new email or the flash of a social media notification can derail your focus in an instant. Consider turning off notifications during focused work periods, or even using apps that temporarily block distracting websites and applications. But it's not just about digital distractions. Establishing boundaries with others is crucial for maintaining focus. This might mean setting do not disturb hours, using visual cues to signal when you're in deep work mode, or finding a quiet space where you can work uninterrupted. Remember, it's not about being antisocial, it's about respecting your need for focused time. Internal distractions can be trickier to manage, but there are effective techniques for overcoming them. Mindfulness practices can help you become more aware of wandering thoughts, allowing you to gently redirect your focus back to the task at hand. For persistent worries or intrusive thoughts, try keeping a notepad nearby. Quickly jot down any concerns or ideas that pop up, then return to your work. This simple act can help clear your mind, knowing you can return to these thoughts later. Creating a distraction-free workspace is another powerful strategy. This goes beyond just tidying up your desk. Think about how you can optimize your physical environment for concentration. This might mean facing your desk away from high-traffic areas, using noise-canceling headphones, or even creating a dedicated work area separate from your relaxation space. In the digital realm, there are numerous tools available to help block interruptions. From browser extensions that limit access to distracting websites, to apps that create a minimalist work environment on your computer, technology can be a powerful ally in your quest for focus. But perhaps the most important aspect of eliminating distractions is cultivating deep work habits. Deep work, a term coined by productivity expert Cal Newport, refers to the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It's a skill that requires practice and discipline to develop. Start by scheduling specific periods for uninterrupted work. During these times, commit to working on a single task without allowing any interruptions. It might feel challenging at first. Our brains have become accustomed to constant stimulation. But with practice, you'll find that you can extend these periods of deep focus, unlocking new levels of productivity and creativity. Building mental resilience against distractions is also crucial. This involves training your mind to resist the urge to check your phone or switch tasks when the work gets challenging. Remember, moments of difficulty or boredom are often precursors to breakthrough insights. Learning to push through these moments rather than succumbing to distraction is key to achieving deep work. To truly internalize these concepts, try conducting a distraction audit. For a week, keep a log of every interruption to your work. Note what distracted you, how long the distraction lasted, and what triggered it. This awareness alone can be eye-opening, revealing patterns you might not have noticed before. Then, based on your audit, start implementing distraction elimination techniques. This might involve redesigning your workspace, setting new boundaries with colleagues, or establishing a new routine that prioritizes focused work. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate all distractions forever. That's unrealistic. Instead, aim to create periods of focused time where you can work without interruption. As you implement these strategies, you're likely to see a range of positive outcomes. At a minimum, you'll experience fewer interruptions during your work periods. This alone can lead to a significant boost in productivity and a reduction in stress. With consistent practice, you'll develop the ability to maintain deep focus for extended periods. This is where the magic happens, where complex problems are solved, creative ideas flourish, and your most valuable work gets done. At its best, mastering the art of eliminating distractions can lead to a transformative boost in both the quantity and quality of your work. You'll find yourself producing high-quality output more efficiently than ever before. Tasks that once took hours might be completed in a fraction of the time, freeing you up to take on new challenges or simply enjoy more leisure time. Of course, like any skill, eliminating distractions comes with its challenges. One common pitfall is inconsistent application. It's easy to fall back into old habits, especially when work gets stressful or deadlines loom. The key is to set strict rules for yourself and use reminders to stay on track. Treat your focused work time as sacred, a non-negotiable part of your day. Another challenge is the constant emergence of new distractions. In our rapidly evolving digital landscape, there's always a new app, platform, or device vying for our attention. Stay vigilant and be prepared to regularly reassess and adapt your distraction elimination strategies. Remember, the goal isn't to live a life devoid of all distractions. Some distractions, like a call from a loved one or an important email from a client, are necessary and valuable. The aim is to take control of your attention, choosing consciously when to engage with the world and when to focus deeply on your work. As you master the art of eliminating distractions, you'll discover a new level of clarity and purpose in your work. Tasks that once seemed daunting become manageable. Ideas that were just out of reach suddenly crystallize. You'll find yourself not just more productive, but more fulfilled in your work. But as powerful as distraction elimination is, it's just one piece of the productivity puzzle. In the next chapter, we'll explore a practice that might seem counterintuitive at first, but has the power to supercharge your productivity and creativity. It's an approach that challenges the notion that more is always better. Get ready to discover the hidden power of stepping back to move forward. The key to unlocking your full potential might lie in embracing moments of apparent inactivity. Chapter 8, Weekly Reflection. In the relentless pursuit of productivity, we often find ourselves caught in a perpetual cycle of doing. We move from one task to the next, one week to another, always pushing forward. But what if the key to truly mastering your week lies not in constant action, but in a moment of pause? What if the most powerful tool for enhancing your productivity is hidden in plain sight, waiting for you to simply stop and look? Welcome to the transformative practice of weekly reflection. At first glance, the idea of setting aside time to reflect might seem counterintuitive. After all, isn't productivity about doing more? But as we'll discover, this simple yet profound practice has the power to supercharge your effectiveness, accelerate your growth, and bring a new level of intentionality to your work and life. But what exactly do we mean by weekly reflection? It's more than just a casual look back at your week. It's a structured, intentional process of reviewing your activities, assessing your progress, and using those insights to refine your approach moving forward. It's about closing the loop between planning, action, and improvement, creating a powerful cycle of continuous growth. The importance of this practice in mastering your week cannot be overstated. By taking the time to reflect, you create a feedback loop that facilitates continuous improvement. Each week becomes not just a series of tasks completed, but a learning experience that informs and enhances your future performance. It's like having a personal productivity coach, constantly helping you refine your strategies and approach. Moreover, regular reflection helps you identify and replicate successful strategies. By consciously examining what worked well, you can amplify these positive elements in your future planning. Conversely, by analyzing setbacks, you gain valuable insights that can prevent similar challenges in the future. To truly understand the power of reflection, we need to delve into the concept of experiential learning. This theory suggests that we learn best not just by doing, but by thinking about what we've done. It's in the process of reflection that experiences are transformed into lasting lessons and insights. Think about it. How often have you repeated the same mistakes or struggled with the same challenges week after week? Without reflection, it's easy to get caught in patterns of behavior that don't serve us well. Reflection breaks this cycle, allowing us to step back, gain perspective, and make conscious choices about how we want to move forward. So how do we harness this power? It starts with conducting a thorough weekly review. This isn't about berating yourself for what you didn't accomplish or patting yourself on the back for checking off your to-do list. It's a nuanced examination of your week, evaluating your progress towards your goals and analyzing the factors that contributed to your successes and setbacks. Begin by reviewing your goals for the week. Have you accomplished your intended goals? If you have, what elements played a role in your achievement? If not, what obstacles got in your way? This isn't about judgment, but about gathering data. Every outcome, whether perceived as positive or negative, contains valuable information. Next, dive deeper into what worked well during the week. Did you have particularly productive days or successful strategies? What conditions or practices seem to enhance your effectiveness? These are the elements you'll want to replicate and amplify in the coming weeks. Equally important is examining what didn't work as well. Were there recurring distractions or time wasters? Did certain tasks take longer than expected? By identifying these challenges, you can start to develop strategies to overcome them in the future. Learning from setbacks is a crucial aspect of the reflection process. It's easy to want to gloss over failures or disappointments, but these often contain the most valuable lessons. When you encounter an obstacle, take the time to really understand it. What was the root cause? Was it an external factor, or was it related to your own habits or approach? Once you've identified these challenges, the next step is to develop strategies to overcome them in the future. This might involve adjusting your schedule, developing new skills, or finding ways to mitigate external disruptions. The key is to approach these challenges with a problem-solving mindset, seeing them not as failures, but as opportunities for growth. With these insights in hand, it's time to adjust your plans accordingly. This might involve refining your goals, shifting your priorities, or updating your schedule and commitments. The power of weekly reflection lies in this ability to continuously fine-tune your approach, ensuring that each week is more effective than the last. To truly reap the benefits of reflection, it's crucial to establish a regular routine. This doesn't have to be a lengthy process. Even 15 to 30 minutes at the end of each week can yield significant benefits. The key is consistency. Make this reflection time a non-negotiable part of your schedule, treating it with the same importance as any other crucial task. There are numerous tools and techniques you can use to support your reflection practice. Some people find journaling helpful, using prompts to guide their thinking. Others prefer a more structured approach, using worksheets or digital tools designed specifically for weekly reviews. Experiment with different methods to find what works best for you. To truly internalize the power of reflection, try this practical exercise. At the end of your next week, set aside 30 minutes for a thorough review. Start by listing your accomplishments for the week, no matter how small. Then, identify any challenges or setbacks you encountered. For each of these, ask yourself what you learned and how you might approach similar situations differently in the future. Next, review your goals for the week. How well did your actions align with these objectives? Were there any goals you didn't make progress on? If so, why? Use these insights to set actionable goals for the coming week, ensuring they're informed by the lessons of the past week. As you implement this practice, you're likely to see a range of positive outcomes. At a minimum, you'll experience increased self-awareness. You'll start to notice patterns in your behavior and work habits that you might never have recognized before. This awareness alone can be transformative, providing the foundation for meaningful change. With consistent practice, you'll likely see significant improvements in your planning and execution strategies. Your weeks will become more intentional and focused, with clearer alignment between your daily actions and your larger goals. You'll become more adept at anticipating challenges and proactively addressing them. At its best, regular reflection can lead to continuous personal and professional growth. It becomes a powerful tool for self-improvement, helping you constantly refine your approach and push your boundaries. You'll find yourself not just accomplishing more, but achieving things you might once have thought impossible. Of course, like any practice, reflection comes with its challenges. One common pitfall is skipping reflections due to time constraints. It's easy to let this practice slide when you're busy, but this is often when you need it most. The solution is to treat your reflection time as non-negotiable, scheduling it into your week just like any other important commitment. Another potential issue is engaging in only superficial reflection. It's tempting to go through the motions without really digging deep. To combat this, challenge yourself to ask probing questions and seek honest answers. Don't shy away from uncomfortable truths. These are often where the most valuable insights lie. Remember, the goal of reflection isn't to dwell on the past or berate yourself for mistakes. It's about learning, growing, and continuously improving. Approach your reflections with curiosity and compassion, seeing every experience as an opportunity for growth. As you master the art of weekly reflection, you'll discover a new level of clarity and purpose in your work and life. You'll move from simply reacting to events to proactively shaping your experiences. Each week becomes not just a series of tasks to be completed, but a step on a journey of continuous improvement and personal growth. But as powerful as weekly reflection is, it's just one piece of the productivity puzzle. In the next chapter, we'll explore a concept that ties together everything we've discussed so far. It's an approach that will help you transform these individual strategies into a cohesive, sustainable system for long-term success. Get ready to discover the key to turning productivity from a constant struggle into a natural, effortless part of your life. The secret to lasting change might be simpler than you think, yet more powerful than you could imagine. Chapter 9: Sustaining Momentum. As we reach the final chapter of our journey together, it's time to address a crucial question. How do we take all these powerful strategies and turn them into a sustainable, long-term practice? How do we ensure that the productivity gains we've achieved don't fade away like so many New Year's resolutions, but instead become an integral part of our lives? Welcome to the art of sustaining momentum. This is where we transform isolated tactics into a cohesive system, where we turn fleeting bursts of productivity into a consistent, powerful force that propels us towards our goals day after day, week after week, year after year. But what exactly do we mean by sustaining momentum? It's more than just willpower or motivation. It's about creating a self-reinforcing cycle of productivity, where each action you take not only moves you closer to your goals, but also makes the next action easier. It's about turning these strategies into habits so ingrained that they become as natural as breathing. The power of this approach lies in its ability to compound your efforts over time. Just as compound interest can turn small, regular investments into a fortune, consistently applied productivity habits can transform your life in ways you might never have imagined. To truly understand how to sustain momentum, we need to delve into the science of habit formation. At the core of this is the concept of the habit loop, a neurological pattern that governs any habit. It consists of three elements: a cue, the trigger that initiates the behavior; a routine, the behavior itself; and a reward, the benefit you gain from doing the behavior. By understanding and manipulating this loop, we can turn the productivity strategies we've learned into automatic behaviors. The key is consistency and repetition. Each time you complete the loop, the habit becomes more deeply ingrained, requiring less conscious effort to maintain. So how can we apply this to the strategies we've learned? Let's start by considering how these tools can empower you. Throughout this book, you've gained a powerful toolkit for peak productivity. You now have the ability to align your goals, prioritize effectively, manage your energy, eliminate distractions, and reflect on your progress. These aren't just abstract concepts. They're practical tools that you can apply immediately to transform your work and life. Moreover, these strategies don't just make you more productive, they enhance your confidence in managing your time and tasks. You're no longer at the mercy of your to-do list or external demands. Instead, you have the power to shape your days and weeks intentionally, focusing on what truly matters. But the benefits extend far beyond your personal productivity. As you master these techniques, you'll likely find that your relationships improve as well. Better time management leads to more quality time with loved ones. When you're not constantly stressed about unfinished tasks or looming deadlines, you're more present and engaged in your interactions. Your improved ability to handle work efficiently can lead to better work-life balance, benefiting both personal and professional relationships. Consider what you'll be able to achieve now that you couldn't before. Consistently meeting and exceeding goals becomes not just possible, but probable. Projects that once seemed overwhelming can now be broken down, prioritized, and tackled with increased efficiency. You have the tools to push beyond your previous limitations to achieve things you might once have thought impossible. As you continue to practice these concepts, you'll find that your results improve with less and less effort. This is the power of habit formation at work. What once required conscious thought and effort becomes automatic. Your productive behaviors become your default mode, allowing you to achieve more while feeling less stressed and overwhelmed. But how do we build these productive habits? It starts with understanding the habit formation process. New habits don't form overnight. They require consistent repetition over time. Start small, focusing on one or two key strategies at a time. As these become ingrained, gradually add more to your routine. The key is to repeat these actions consistently until they solidify into behaviors. This might mean setting reminders, creating visual cues in your environment, or linking new habits to existing routines. For example, you might make weekly reflection a part of your Sunday evening routine, or use the start of your workday as a cue to review and prioritize your tasks. Staying motivated over time can be challenging, but there are strategies to help. Focus on intrinsic motivators, the internal satisfaction and sense of accomplishment you feel from being productive, rather than relying solely on external rewards. Celebrate your milestones and achievements, no matter how small. Each victory reinforces the habit loop, making it more likely you'll continue the behavior. Of course, even with the best strategies, you may encounter plateaus or periods of stagnation. The key is to recognize these moments not as failures, but as opportunities for growth. If you notice your momentum declining, it might be time to reassess your approach. Are your goals still aligned with your values? Are your strategies still effective, or do they need updating? To reignite your passion and drive, try introducing new challenges or learning new skills related to your productivity practice. Attend a workshop, read a new book on the subject, or connect with others who share your commitment to productivity. Sometimes a fresh perspective is all you need to get back on track. Remember, life is constantly changing, and your productivity system needs to evolve with it. Be flexible in your planning and execution. Regularly review and adjust your goals and strategies to ensure they still serve you. What worked for you a year ago might not be the best approach now, and that's okay. The ability to adapt is a strength, not a weakness. As we conclude this book, I want to leave you with a vision of the journey ahead. Committing to lifelong productivity isn't about constantly pushing yourself to do more. It's about creating a sustainable system that allows you to achieve your goals while maintaining balance and well-being. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, day by day, week by week, year by year. Imagine waking up each morning with a clear sense of purpose, knowing exactly what you need to do to move closer to your goals. Picture yourself tackling complex projects with confidence, breaking them down into manageable steps and executing them flawlessly. Envision a life where stress is minimized, where you have ample time for both work and play, where you're constantly growing and evolving. This isn't just a fantasy, it's a reality that's within your grasp. By consistently applying the strategies you've learned in this book, You have the power to transform not just your productivity, but your entire life. You have the tools to create a future where success isn't just a possibility, but an inevitability. But remember, this isn't the end of your journey. It's just the beginning. The strategies you've learned are powerful, but their true potential is unlocked through consistent application and ongoing refinement. Embrace the process of continuous improvement. Be patient with yourself as you develop new habits. Celebrate your successes, learn from your setbacks, and always keep pushing forward. You have within you the power to achieve extraordinary things. You have the ability to shape your days, your weeks, your years according to your vision. You have the capacity to grow, to learn, to become more than you ever thought possible. So take these tools and run with them. Experiment, adapt, make them your own. Let them guide you towards a future of unprecedented productivity, achievement, and fulfillment. The journey ahead is filled with possibility, and you're now equipped to make the most of every step. Remember, mastering your week isn't just about getting more done. It's about creating a life of purpose, balance, and continuous growth. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, one week at a time. But as you implement these strategies, you might find yourself wondering how to make the most of each individual day within your well-planned weeks. How can you ensure that every single day contributes meaningfully to your goals? There's a crucial piece of the puzzle that we haven't yet explored, a key that can unlock even greater levels of success and fulfillment. The answer lies in mastering not just your week, but each day within it. To truly transform your life and make the most of the strategies you've learned, you need to dive deeper into daily mastery. Discover how to plan, execute, and achieve on a daily basis in the audiobook Master Your Day. Plan, execute, achieve. Tap the center of the video now to continue your transformation journey.